Hello and welcome to another video from UK Manga Reviews. Today we are looking at Assassination Classroom Volume 2 in our Assassination Classroom series. Once again, we were looking at the art, we'll be looking at the presentation, we'll be looking at the story, and we'll be looking at how much we enjoyed it. So following on from Assassination Classroom number 1, we follow the lives of Class 3E. Once again, we have Nagisa and the crew all trying to kill Koro-sensei, who is this being of remarkable power who moves insanely fast and insanely quick. But this one is a little story. In the early chapters of Assassination Classroom Volume 2, we get Irina appears. I can't exactly pronounce her last name, it's Russian, but this a professional assassin appears, and she's this beautiful young woman, beautiful blonde hair, beautiful body, all that sort of stuff, beautiful legs, and she turns out to be a complete and utter bitch to them. She's there posing undercover as their new English teacher because she's a native speaker in many different languages such as Russian, English, Japanese, German, all that, and she comes in as their language teacher because the cover story is that the government want them to have a better language tutoring. However, it turns out she's a professional assassin, and her special skill is getting close to people, using sexual advances on them, therefore getting close to them and then killing them, which is stated in the manga. It's shown several times, and she tries to get information from Nagisa, who's been taking information off of his little notebook, and she basically just kisses him to do that. Her charms do work on Koro-sensei, but she's unable to kill him. And then we move on along until we get up to where the head teacher arrives. But first they have to go to an assembly on the main campus, which is horrible because they hate being in an assembly, because once a month the school gets together to go down to do an assembly, and Class 3 get picked on by other students, they get thrown out, left out, like there's a handout goes around the assembly at one point, and 3E don't get a copy, which is a bit horrible really. But it's fine because Koro-sensei sorts that all out. And then we have the teacher show up, the head teacher, who challenges Koro-sensei. And the head teacher he's an amazing character, I will admit he is an amazing character. He's one of these head teachers which everything has to be run perfectly, everything has to be done exactly as it should be. And he has this philosophy of, he says that so many workers are idle, so many workers work hard, and the rest fall into line. However, the school is run so that 95% of the students work hard, and the 5% which can't keep up to the other 95% have to fall down to Class 3E, and that is the 5% that Class 3E is. And he goes and he helps and he inspects it and all that sort of stuff. We also see the class have an amazing way of battling the midterm tests, and it's described as not just an exam where they're filling a bib, but they're fighting monsters, and they're fighting them as assassins because they're trained to be assassins. That is essentially what 3E is training to be, assassins. And you can see that in some of the pictures they're training to take down these huge crocodiles and monsters, which are actually questions. They're horrible questions, but they're using their assassination as a metaphor for their taking down the test, which is really kind of cool. And eventually the class get over midterms, and as Japanese tradition happens always, they end up going on a trip, and they go to Kyoto on a class trip, which, because they're going to Kyoto, which was once the capital of Japan, as many people from Japan would know. Many people of Japanese or know about Japan know that Kyoto was once the capital. Little bit of a tip for you, do you know that Tokyo and Kyoto actually have the same name? They just rearranged differently. But anyway, they go to Kyoto because it has a long and deep history of assassinations, people being killed there. It's a very, very deep cultural history. And they're on the train there, they bump into some guys or Nagisa's group, they'll get into like groups. Nagisa's group bump into some guys who decide that they're going to try and kidnap the girls. Yes, they're going to try and kidnap the middle school girls and their high schools to have fun with them. And Koro Sensei has made a complete massive book. I mean, honestly, it must have been, what, this thick? And it's a guide, it's like a tour guide to everything that could possibly ever happen in Kyoto. And one of them happens to be, if you remember, Ryoko gets abducted, which is a bit strange. But anyways, that's where it leaves off with the Kaidi and Kanzaki. Kanzaki being like the idol of the group, and Kaidi being the little girl with the green hair. Nagisa's friend get kidnapped, and it leaves it there. Excuse me. With the boys trying to find a way to rescue them. Now we're going to move on to the art. Now Assassination Classroom 2 has some amazing art in this issue. I've looked through Assassination Classroom 2 and I'm very impressed with the art. We do get the normal type of manga art, which you would expect in any Assassination Classroom book. However, there is certain page breakers between chapters which have just been beautifully illustrated. Like in individual sketches, like the one here of Nagisa holding his gun for Class 10, Chapter 10. And the art is amazing. They've taken a lot of time sketching it, and it's a beautiful piece of artwork. If I could have this picture printed out in colour on a canvas, up on a wall, somewhere in this room, I would have that picture, because I think that's a beautiful and amazing piece of art. Once again, we have the simplistic art styles that you would expect from this author, and we also have the very complicated art styles mixed in as well. And some beautiful imagery of the children, but not just in their uniform. Especially on the Kyoto trip, she's putting them in other uniforms. Like you see Kanzaki there, like of a picture of when she was kidnapped, of her in a beautiful, complete in the arcade, like a different outfit, which is nice to see. It makes characters feel more human, which is always nice to know. And the artwork overall is beautiful in general, and we have these. And once again, as expected from Assassination Classroom, there's little snippets within the book which don't need to be there. They're there for your enjoyment. Like there's an entire class portrait here of all the character designs that are used. They even included prop designs and all that sort of stuff. It's just you don't expect to see that in some mangas. Onto the presentation. Once again, a very simple but effective front. This time we've got a green and yellow striped front with obviously Koro Sensei's face on. All the Assassination Classrooms seem to have Koro Sensei's face on. And I just worked out that the covers are actually different types of faces that he does in the manga. So for example, this green and yellow is when he's feeling kind of cocky, kind of confident, kind of all the rage. Once again, very strong binding on the side. The back is also very good. There's a blurb, and there's an assignment 2. We had an assignment 1 in the original Assassination Classroom, which is behind me, but now we've got an assignment 2. And obviously, once again, it's rated for older teen, which means that it may not be suitable for younger readers. However, it's not all that mild. There's a few silly little innuendos here and there, and a few violent scenes, especially in the fighting sequences, but nothing too major. As for enjoyment, I did enjoy reading Assassination Classroom Volume 2. I fully enjoyed reading the first one, and I looked forward to the second one. And it's a good story. I like the character of this new teacher who gets the nickname of Professor Bitch, which is a play on her name because it's Vitch or something with V. But they can't say V very well over in Assassination Classroom, so they say just Professor Bitch, which is kind of funny actually. But I like this new character. She's very confident. She's very forward. She adds a bit more adult road to the kind of classroom, and she eventually earns the respect and says, "I can't teach you how to assassinate him, but I can teach you how to speak like assassins," which is an excellent way of doing it because she knows her trade through speech. So for overall enjoyment, I would give this definitely a 4-star. 4 to 4.5 stars, I'd say. Probably 4.5 because I'm looking forward to the next issue because they're in Kyoto and they've been kidnapped, which is which is going to be fun to try to find out what's been happening. I'm also looking forward to finding out what's going to happen after the Kyoto trip with this new character and how they're going to respond to it. So overall, a very good piece of manga, definitely worth a pick up. I would highly recommend it. I would sorry about that. I would advise picking up the second issue if you've picked up the first, because it's getting better by the day. Thank you very much for watching. This has been William at UK Manga Reviews with Assassination Classroom Volume 2. Thank you for watching.